Network Entertainment.
My advice would be, syempre magpahuli ka na lang and then i-contest mo na lang, right? Meron namang mga procedures how to contest it. Kaya ako sinasabing pumayag ka na lang just because yung policy nila na hindi manghuli, it's not written. So, meron pa rin silang pagbabasihan, pagkakatigan na batas kung bakit kanila hinuhuli. Kahit sabihin mo na pinagtitripan lang ako. In the end, meron kami tinatawag na presumption of regularity of the performance ng trabaho ng public officer, no. Yung nanghuli sa iyo, they are presumed na parang talagang nahuli ka niya, hindi ka pinagtitripan. So, that's it.
Welcome to Tunay na Rider, the podcast where we don't just talk about the machine. We talk about the heart, the crew, the trip, and paminsan-minsan may brip. I'm Iva.
And I'm King Senko.
And we've got Attorney Genesis. And what are we going to be talking about today?
Si Attorney Genesis na naman.
Good riders versus the law.
Good riders versus the law. Dahil, tingin ko napapanahon na kasi ang daming batas na kung minsan parang di mo alam kung susundin mo ba. Kasi batas naman siya, pero ginagawa naman araw-araw sa kalsada yung mga paglabag, nagiging parang normal.
Yeah, this episode came about dahil sa lane filtering.
Yes.
Right?
Diba?
And we want to talk about lane filtering, pero there's so many other laws that hindi lang anti-rider. Pero anti-poor rin. Diba? It's medyo discriminatory. Kung naka-big bike ka, hindi ka masyadong...
Hindi ka affected, no?
Hindi ka affected. Kung weekend ka lang nag-ride, hindi ka affected. Pero kung araw-araw, bumibiyahe ka, nagtatrabaho ka, malaking bagay.
Yes, sabi nga nila, it gets old real quick.
Attorney, rider ka. Diba? So, one of the... And you ride a lot.
Yes.
Parang daily rider ka rin and you've got a bunch of bikes. I have two questions, actually. What do you think the most commonly violated laws are? And the second question... I was going to ask you, pero since you're an attorney and you're supposed to uphold the law, what are the most commonly violated laws by you? Hindi pwede pala. One question lang pala ako. One question. What do you think are the laws that are violated by King and me na lang?
Na madalas.
Okay. Actually, yung filtering, that is the most violated talaga. Pero, okay, I think mapupunta tayo dun sa discussion why it is the most violated later on. When you ask the
ano mga ibang laws?
No? Ngayon, meron pa rin yung yung madalas na nakikita ko sa kalsada actually. Yung tungkol sa yung sa helmet, no.
Actually, may kasamang ICC sticker yung shark. Pero it's an option to stick it. I mean, like hindi siya nandun sa box.
Yeah.
Pangit eh.
I know. Tsaka,
ba't may hologram yung helmet ko? Diba?
I remember na naging issue yan eh. Diba? Nagkaroon ng time na parang siguro a couple of years ago na they will crack down on the helmets without ICC stickers. And for a time, they cracked down dun sa mga suppliers, I think. And I think that is one of the most violated din eh. Kaya ako lang na-realize yun kasi nung time na nag-crackdown. So, syempre, tingin-tingin tayo sa paligid. In fact, kapag bibili tayo ng helmet, ayaw na natin that time, may sticker ba? May sticker, di ba? Minsan, ang mahal naman yan. Tapos, walang ICC sticker. Like that, di ba?
Naging haggling, pa ngayon tuloy, bargaining chip pa yun.
Oo eh. Kasi wala kang ICC stickers. And in fact, although hindi ko to ginawa, I'm sure narinig nyo dati sa Facebook, marketplace, yung nagbebenta ng ICC stickers.
O, ididikit mo na lang.
Ididikit mo na lang. And
Kalokohan yun. Hindi mo
Oo.
kailangan bumili. Bumili ka lang ng electrical tape sa hardware.
Yeah.
May kasama ng libreng ICC sticker yun.
De, tsaka di ba? May mga stringent testing naman na pinagdaanan yung mga branded especially, di ba? Ba't kailangan pa ng ganun?
Ay, sandali. Before we get attorney into any more trouble.
Oo.
Yeah.
Baka kailangan natin
Oo nga
ng disclaimer.
Okay.
Ito yung legal disclaimer just to protect attorney.
Yes. Hindi ito this is not a legal advice.
Yon.
This is merely for general information
And entertainment
and
purposes.
entertainment.
At saka, itong mga binibring up natin o yung mga sinasagot naman ni Attorney Genesis, pwedeng i-research ng kahit sino to eh.
Yes.
Yung mga examples that we're gonna bring up during this episode, purely fictional. It just so happens to be ginawa ni King, ginawa ni
Tama.
Iba. These are all
Years ago.
Matagal na, oo.
fictional or beyond anong tawag doon, yung expired na, yung
Prescription period.
wala na sa
Wala na, lagpas
wala
na.
Oo,
10
okay.
years ago pa, nung baby pa ako nung ginawa ko yun.
Yun. So tapos na yung caveats natin. May disclaimer. So ano pa yung mga ibang violated?
Okay. Yung isa pa, madalas ma-violate, I think nakikita natin lahat yan dun sa maraming mga TikTok videos about that Yung mga nagsusukatan pa sila ng decibel meter. Yung sa mga pipe, di ba?
Agree.
Oo. Tapos nagkaroon pa ng time na laging nahuhuli yung mga side mirror. Meron pang pagsukat ng 4 fingers. Meron pang ganun, di ba?
Pambihira.
Di ba? Like, a lot of things na parang gusto, apparently, ang paniniwala ng mga nanguhuli, merong mga modifications that according to them, needs registration with the LTO. And without that, and you will be penalized. Hingan ka ng fine or sometimes kunin pa yung lisensya mo. Yan.
Hassle naman nun.
Hassle, oo.
Alright. With that, syempre, dito sa Pilipinas, may mga nabasa ako in the past na medyo conflicting eh. Ang hirap i-comprehend na pinatutupad kasi ginagawa naman lagi. One example of that is the classic debate, is lane filtering actually illegal in the Philippines or does it fall into a quote-unquote gray area?
Yung illegal sa Pilipinas, yung naglalakad sa EDSA na magshota sa gitna ng traffic, yun, for sure illegal yun.
Pero lane filtering, attorney, totoo bang legal yun?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, illegal?
Okay, nung NCAP, nung nag-implement sila ng NCAP, syempre, nag-try ako mag-research about that. Kasi bawal na nga daw tayo mag-lane filtering.
Oo.
Ang nakita ko, merong administrative order ang LTO about that. Pero years ago pa, I think early 2000s, na illegal talaga yung lane filtering. Sinabi nila doon precisely na bawal ang lane filtering. But without defining what it is. Although, hindi na define yung lane filtering, meron namang parang prior sentence na nakalagay na dapat ang lane is one vehicle per lane lang. So, siguro by context, kapag syempre, ang motorsiklo is considered as one vehicle. Ang context is, kapag nandun na sa lane na yun yung kotse, hindi mo na pa siya pwedeng sabayan.
Yung mas malala, kung may motor doon, hindi mo pwede tabihan yung motor.
Yeah.
Kasi pareho
Kasi
sila.
dalawang vehicle na yun.
Yes, mismo.
From that context, di ba?
Oo.
Which is weird, no?
Labo na.
Which is weird. Ngayon, bawal. Supposedly bawal yun, ano? Pero it was never implemented. I think the explanation of LTO was, nandun lang talaga siya, pero it was never parang implemented just because of the traffic situation in Manila actually. I think hindi naman issue yung lane filtering sa mga probinsya no? Hindi naman nila issue lang natin yan dito sa mga cities, no?
So, sorry, going back to you said it was an executive order?
Administrative order.
Administrative order. And what happened in the news recently is there is a congressman that wants to pass a law.
Yeah.
So that's different.
That's different.
Ano ba yung kinaiba nun?
And yung congressman na yan na gusto mag-pass, Google natin kung may ghost projects, may-ari ng construction company. Tignan muna natin, research tayo mamaya.
May collection ng sports car.
Oo.
Ano ba yung kinaiba ng AO versus law?
Okay. In
Kasi
terms
doble
of
plaka,
yeah.
law.
Yeah. In terms of mga bawal, pareho lang din naman siya, no. It's just that dahil administrative order siya, inisyu siya ng administrative office in charge of whatever it is na kumbaga they are taking care of. In this case, yung LTO, they are taking care of the traffic. So, syempre, yung administrative order nila is tungkol sa mga traffic laws. And they are empowered to do that. They have the authority of the law na para mag-issue ng mga administrative orders pagdating sa mga traffic. Ang pinagkaiba niyan, pagdating sa mga mambabatas, yung mga congressman, they have the wide latitude of doing, making laws, no? Anything under the sun, yun ang tawag ng mga, ang turo sa amin sa law school niyan. Yun yung latitude ng legislative power ng Congress. Anything under the sun, they can do a law about it. So, yun lang naman ang pinagkaiba na. Pero as far as yung kanilang effectivity, kung
yung hulihan,
yung hulihan, ganyan, pareho lang naman. It's both in accordance with the police power of the state. So, okay, going back to dun sa sinabi nung sinabi mo iba na mayroong gustong gumawa ng mayroong bill House bill And binasa ko siya and meron siyang definition doon ng meron siyang definition doon ng lane filtering, which is more or less pareho lang naman, no? Pareho lang naman. Pero ang question sigurong magandang isipin natin diyan. Dahil ang LTO ang nag-impose, sila yung gumawa ng AO So, if they are deciding na, wag natin masyadong i-implement, no? Kasi sila naman yung gumawa ng administrative order. So, meron silang leeway na parang, wag tayo maging strict dyan. Ngayon, diba?
So, with doble plaka, wala pa yung IRR. Kasi ang dami nagalit.
Tama.
So, pinag-isipan talaga nila bago nila i-implement yung IRR
Yes.
until the point wherein, like si Sen JV, pushed for the modification of the law.
Tama.
Wala pang
Kaya
IRR,
bago.
di ba?
Tama.
Yun. Okay. So there's a bit of wiggle room.
Yes. Ngayon, pagdating sa, kunyari, yung bill about that, lane filtering, ang mangyayari dyan, kapag naipasa na yan, and I think, if it needs an IRR, tapos nagawa na yung IRR, parang mahirapan yata yung LTO to decide on their own not to implement it. Kasi it's a law that is, made by the Congress. Parang mahirap naman yun, di ba?
Pero, okay. There are many different types of riders in 7,000 plus islands, right?
Yeah.
If you're riding in Metro Manila, which I think there's a bias towards regulations and rules in Metro Manila, but if you're in Basilan, you're in Tawi-Tawi, iba naman yung kailangan na rules and regulations doon. I'll give you an example.
Yan ba yung iba? Yan ba yung may mga town na bawal ka mag-helmet?
No, but that's different. But like in general, and maybe actually it connects to that. Kung nasa probinsya ka, malayo pa lang nakita mo may checkpoint. 'Di ba? Wala kang helmet, nakachinelas ka, wala kang ORCR.
Humihinto sila no?
Anong gagawin mo? Hihinto ka, and then you'll wait until mawala yung checkpoint, or
itulak mo yung
motor past the checkpoint.
May napanood tayong video na ganyan, di ba?
Now, the thing is, the challenges and the dangers of a rural area, ibang-iba sa urbanized area.
Tama.
In particular, dito sa Metro Manila, layo ng pagkakaiba.
So, this filtering issue is really for yung urbanized areas. And then I guess we can talk about the LGUs and we'll talk about it later. But
gusto ko lang to add etong lane filtering, kailangan lang doon sa existing administrative order, wala silang nilagay doon na penalty, okay? So kapag hinuli ka, I don't know kung anong ilalagay nilang panghuli sa'yo. I guess reckless driving, no? Ngayon,
or the classic DUI.
Yeah.
Sa disregarding DTS pala.
Traffic signs, ganyan, no? Ngayon, gusto ko lang itong sabihin. The problem here is, kapag nag-lane filtering ka, you're technically violating a traffic rule. And ang problema, kunyari nakagasgas ka, meron kasing tinatawag na presumption of negligence. When you are violating a traffic rule, kapag nangyari ang isang aksidente, the presumption of the law is in favor dun sa na damage mo. Kasi meron kang ginagawang mali, quote and quote mali. So in this case, parang dahil nagli-lane filtering ka, kahit in fact ang negligent is yung the other party, kawawa ka ngayon kapag there is evidence na you were filtering.
So even if they don't impose penalties, right? Even if it already puts you in a position wherein you're vulnerable to a kamote driver.
Yes. Exposed ka sa liability.
Exposed ka sa liability.
Kumbaga dehado ka na agad.
Yes, dehado ka na kagad.
Guilty na.
Kahit walang penalty. Exactly.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Alright, so going back to actually I have one more question about filtering. There's a difference between filtering and lane splitting.
Yes.
And we're talking about the difference here is basically speed,
Yes.
right? 25. So in the law that they're pushing, kasi if you're on the highway, 'di ba? Pucha, hindi ka magle-lane split. Kasi delikado talaga 'yon. Pero kung rush hour, sweldo weekend, EDSA, pucha, basta may butas, allegedly, doon ako papasok.
Oh.
Tama.
I-differentiate lang natin iba, no? Para sa mga hindi aware. Kasi hindi naman lahat na tayong rider alam to eh.
Pwede ibigay ni attorney yung legal definition.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Or yung Webster's.
Okay.
Oh.
Ang problem nga, as I was saying, the AO does not define that. No? Yung mga House bill, ang dinefine nila was filtering.
Okay, tayo na mag-define, attorney. Ano bang pagkakaiba nun?
Ganito. Siyempre I think we're defining this for non-riders, ano?
Oo.
Sa atin, yung filtering, ito yung nagtra-travel tayo basically doon sa white, broken line. Diba?
Pagitan.
Sa pagitan. Dagdadahan-dahan tayo sa gitna kasi ang bagal na ng takbo.
Yes.
Diba? Yung lane splitting is the one where we, change lanes na dire-diretso.
At speed.
Basically at speed. Diba? Just because while everyone else is also fast, motorcycles generally are faster. So kailangan pa rin natin lumipat. Basically it's overtaking na sunod-sunod no?
Parang,
diba?
ano rin kasi,
Lane weaving yun.
Yan,
parang naglalaro ka ng snake.
sa
Yes,
mga
diba?
hindi nagmo-motor, yung mga kongresista dyan na hindi pa nakasakay ng motor kahit minsan, try nyo kaya steady, maki-80 ka sa SLEX. Ewan ko di ka ma-sideswipe ng tatangatangan driver dyan. Di ba yung mga nagte-text?
Okay. So that's on that note, no? There are a lot of people that are saying that filtering is safer. Kasi, okay, ilan beses na I have been in the middle of the road, in traffic, and binangga ako sa likod.
May isa pa, munti ka magulungan yung paa mo ng Innova.
Oo. But for me, if I did not have the ability to move and minimize my exposure slowly in traffic, that would happen a lot more because drivers sometimes are distracted. The fact that you stay in the middle and you're completely exposed increases your vulnerability as a rider.
Yeah, I believe that. Ito, personal opinion ko na lang to. I think that happens, yung sinasabi mo na nasa gitna ka ng lane, tapos yung kasunod na kotse, mababangga ka eh. Naniniwala.
Mabagal lang. Yung parang hindi mo,
lang.
pak!
Oo.
Utang ina. Diba? Parang,
Kasi supposedly, I think, mas safer yung dalawang brake lights ng kotse. Kasi, yung eyes, yung 3D effect ng vision, kaya kumbaga stereo effect ng vision mo, effective yun kapag dalawa eh.
Mas kompleto, kumbaga.
Mas kompleto eh. Yung isa, I think yung depth perception, yung nag-iisang brake light ng motor, I think hindi natatansya masyado ng driver. Kaya,
lalo na pag gitna. Actually,
Yes.
I think kung nasa left
Madali
side
pa,
ka,
oo.
aligned with the driver, mas kita, or even on the right side, because the driver doesn't care what's right in front of them.
Yes.
They care about what's in their
Peripheral.
periphery.
Yeah. Kaya I believe na it's safer to filter. At saka, in the unfortunate event, kapag nabangga ka pa rin kahit nag-lane filter ka, at least hindi ka maiipit, di ba?
Tama
Walang nasa harap mo.
May escape.
Oo, tatalsik ka lang paharap. Di ba?
Alright. Ito naman ako naman na may question, attorney. If a rider filters properly, let's say, wala ka naman nasagi.
20 kilometers per hour.
Standstill traffic, talaga namang may papasukan ka sa ilalim, no? Not at high speed, obviously, not endangering anyone. Is that still considered reckless under the law? Kung halimbawa may side mirror, masagi ka, ganyan.
Kung may nasagi ka, may kasalanan ka. Diba?
Okay.
Pero kung wala,
Kung wala, ano lang, NCAP lang, ganyan, camera, matatakot ka ba
Oo,
nun?
yun yung problem, ano? Kasi wala namang, from what I know, wala namang memorandum stating na talagang sinuspend nila yung implementation ng AO about yung filtering na bawal. Hindi naman talaga nila yun officially sinuspend eh. It's just that as a policy, they're not implementing it.
Pinagbibigyan lang ganun.
Yan, oo. Ngayon, if there's, kunyari, merong nanguhuli, tapos hinuli ka, reckless driving. Why? Pag sabi nyo, why? Kasi nag-filter ka eh. Bawal yan. Well, ang tanong, pwede ka bang basically yun ang tanong eh. Pwede ka bang makipagtalo?
I-contest mo.
I-contest, no? Ngayon,
pero on the flip side, marami tayong tropa na police na araw-araw nagra-ride. So kung nanghuli sila ng filtering, sigurado masasama sila. That's why hindi na i-implement.
Yan. I think, my advice would be, syempre magpahuli ka na lang and then i-contest mo na lang, right? Meron namang mga procedures how to contest it eh. Kaya ako sinasabing pumayag ka na lang just because yung policy nila na hindi manghuli, it's not written eh. So meron pa rin silang pagbabasihan, pagkakatigan na batas kung bakit kanila hinuhuli. Kahit sabihin mo na pinagtitripan lang ako. In the end, meron kami tinatawag na presumption of regularity of the performance ng trabaho ng public officer, no. Yung nanghuli sa iyo, they are presumed na parang talagang nahuli ka niya, hindi ka pinagtitripan. So that's it.
Hi there, my name is Earl and I'm the host of Philippine Campfire Stories. After this episode that you're listening to, baka naman gusto mong mag-check ng mga horror stories sa mga folklore and urban legends na nangyayari sa Pilipinas. Mga true horror stories shared in a manner na hindi ka naman matatakot pero ma-entertain ka. Go ahead and check out Philippine Campfire Stories and we have over 200 episodes just waiting for you. See you there!
Actually, I want to go back to, and maybe you can touch on that at the end. Ano ba yung mga tips na pwede natin ibigay sa mga rider on what are the processes, what do they have to carry with them, how do they appeal, yung mga ganun. I think that's a great way to end the show. But, okay, ngayon, every locale is different. The last time we were here, we talked about it. Nasa fire road siya.
Zambales yun.
Naka off-road.
Tama.
Iba yung kalsada. Iba yung environment. But what they're trying to do is create the LTO. Again, tutok nila is yung highest concentration of riders, of vehicles, etc. But if you go an hour and a half outside of Metro Manila, you're gonna see everybody violating the law. But hindi ako nasa-stress eh. Kasi side road lang, probinsya, 'di ba? Parang hindi sila humahataw, never humahataw. I mean, minsan may bata. But usually sa probinsya, chill lang, parang naka-stroll lang, punta sa sari-sari store, punta sa palengke, punta sa simbahan.
Panghanap buhay nga mga motor dun eh.
Oo. And hindi sila nag-helmet. So I'm gonna take kind of look at it holistically. Kasi tayo, yung mga reaction natin, mga big bike rider, or yung mga magandang scooter, all the gear all the time. Kasi maganda, mayabang, ganda ng gear ko eh.
Tama. Sayang naman, hindi ko suotin.
Oo, pogi eh. tatawid. Pero kung tumawid ako sa mga lugar na may mga specific rules, 'di ba? Yung LGU, bawal mag-helmet dahil peace and order. Bawal na aftermarket pipes dahil nakadistorbo, 'di ba? What are your thoughts on that, attorney?
Okay. Magandang question 'yan, ano. Okay, first, ang kailangan nating i-clear is yung local government na batas ba is in contravention dun sa national law or not. Kasi kunyari, helmet. Mayroong national law na requiring us to wear helmets all the time pag nakamotorsiklo ka. Tapos ngayon, there are ordinances ng LGU, bawal daw mag-helmet.
Yeah,
Diba?
Mandaluyong, bawal mag-backride dati.
I'll throw in an interesting addition pa. May ginawa akong report, I think 2 years ago, about some religions. Some religions, Indian Sikh, I believe.
Bawal sila maggupit ng buhok nila.
Bawal magtanggal ng putong sa ulo.
Oo.
Kaya hindi makapag-helmet.
Pero nagmomotor, marami dyan, di ba? Mga nagpapautang pa nga. Bakit yung mga yon? Kahit saan sila magpunta, pinagbibigyan ng batas.
Okay. Ayoko sana mag-touch dyan. Pero kasi, parang age-old na yan. Parang separation of the state and church. Yeah. Kaya, pinagbibigyan sila, no? Lalong-lalo na kung parang, para sa kanila is, kumbaga, illegal yun, yung pinagbabawal ng government is kapag ginawa nila, it would be like violation of their
civil liberties.
Siyempre pag pinagbibigyan sila, no. Kaya tama ka doon. Yung turban nila hindi pinapaalis and hindi sila huhulihin, no.
But on the flip side, may sticker naman yung turban.
Malambot yun pag tumama sa sahig.
Mas safe actually, no.
And one, hindi sila humahataw. Right, they're going from one sari-sari store to another. Means, I mean, I'm not generalizing, but you never see them diba? They commute. You don't need ECE 2206 na helmet for what they're doing. Hindi mo na sila nakikita sa Skyway, diba?
Siguro i-impart ko na lang din sa inyo yung natanggap kong sagot from LTO when I made that report, no. Si LTO kasi kinikilala rin nila yung kumbaga yung kung anong relihiyon ng isang tao. Naintindihan nila na itong mga taong to, hindi naman 1,000cc yung sinasakyan itong mga to para magpatupad pa ng helmet. So, yung mga ganun.
And also, if they do take a spill, the only person who gets hurt is them. Wala siya lang din nadamay.
Tama.
Diba? Walang nadamay na ibang tao.
Wala pa ako nakitang kamote rin na ganun kasuotan.
Playing devil's advocate. Pero ang pagiging problem doon is, kunyari, ikaw yung naka-aksidente sa kanila. Tapos, supposedly hindi naman sila mamamatay. Pero dahil walang helmet, namatay sila. Medyo malaking question yan pagdating sa litigation. Hindi ka naman dapat namatay. Kaso, wala kang helmet. Pero I think that's another conversation for some time. Something to think about. Something to think about. I mean, ngayon, going back dun sa question dun sa LGU ordinance, no? As long as the LGU ordinance is not in contravention of the national law, walang problem, no? Walang problem.
Like yung sa backride sa Mandaluyong, parang umabot sa Supreme Court yata yun, di ba?
The problem is, hindi naman siya, kung umabot siya sa Supreme Court, question yung constitutionality niya, not because in contravention siya sa national law, but because
in contravention of common sense.
Yeah, parang ganun. Exactly.
Kailangan magkamag-anak yata kayo para payagan kayo.
Tama.
Mag-asawa.
Magtatay.
Oo. Or so basically, kung tatawid ka ng Mandaluyong, Han, baba ka muna, mag-taxi ka ha. Makita tayo sa Makati. Parang gano'n.
Alam mo, iba yung sinabi mo, is it in contravention of common sense? Dapat ina-adapt yan sa Constitution natin. Pero what the Constitution uses is if mas basic lang. If it's reasonable. The reasonable means, kasi ang sinasabi kaya naging question yun, ano bang pinaprevent natin para hindi yung mga riding in tandem? Is it reasonable na hindi na nila magagamit yung kanilang mga motorsiklo para to ferry them from one point to another dahil lang ayaw mo merong riding in tandem. And I think the Supreme Court said na hindi to reasonable.
Pinasoli yung mga yung mga nakolektang penalties, I think.
I think pinasoli.
Yun. Okay.
Sorry, to add, something to think about also, papaano kung like your action is in contravention of both a LG ordinance and then yung national law. Kasi tinanong ko kanina nung etong mga kaibigan ko na to Sabi nila, paano yun, kuya? Paano pag both? Sabi ko, eto ang legal opinion ko. If it's both in violation of the LG ordinance tapos yung national law. Basically, kung nandito ka sa Manila, LTO yan, di ba? Manghuhuli sa'yo. I think pwede kang tikitan both. Ang problem is...
double penalty.
Double penalty. Yeah.
So, kung naka-NCAP ka, nakita ka, may automatic ticket, and then yung local traffic enforcer, nakita
nadali ka rin.
Babayaran mo yung dalawa.
Yan. This is my opinion.
Aray.
Pwede ka nilang tikitan both.
Right. Okay. Speaking of legal or laws na iniimplementa ng national at ng local, how about the stock pipe? Can riders actually be penalized just for having a non-stock pipe even if it's not loud? Kasi 'di ba Maynila, classic example, nanguhuli pag hindi stock. Tapos hindi ka manulihin, paparahin ka, i-measure yung decibel. Di ba ang stock pipe nasisira, lalo yung sa mga maliliit na motor, kinakalawang. Ganyan,
yung Honda Helix ko, putya, puro butas na.
Oo.
Mas maingay. Kung pinalit ko yon, tatahimik.
Mismo. Talaga bang kailangang hulihin o abalahin ng isang rider kung di lang siya naka-stock pipe?
Okay. I think kaya contentious issue yan. Kasi merong pinagbabawal according to LTO rules dun sa modification I think dahil nabanggit yung term na modification and sa mata ng nanguhuli ng enforcer, anything na parang non-stock is a modification, which is I think tama naman sila, no?
Yeah.
Pero they're
Shiggy modification yun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pero there are only certain parts of the motorcycle na kapag quote-unquote minodify mo, you need to register. Hindi naman lahat ng minodify mo kailangan mong i-register tapos lalabas doon sa o RCR mo, modified na yung pipe. No, hindi naman Ang mga minodify lang naman yung kunyari sa cars, 'di ba yung nakalagay lang naman yung top load na modification.
Yung mga roof racks.
Hindi naman nilalagay doon na parang yung exhaust mo modified na rin, hindi mo naman yan nire-register.
Tama naman.
Diba?
Pero may mga motor, yung mga limited edition, 'di ba? May naka-termi na tambucho.
Malaki.
Yung naka-set up na yung mga pipes nila.
Yes,
pero stock 'yun.
Yeah, stock kasi galing sa
kasa.
Di ba? So, ang question ba dyan, kapag ba sinabi ko sa kasa, pwede bang palitan nyo bago nyo ilabas? Stock na ba yon by saying that? So, I think nagkakaroon lang ng problema kasi doon sa, I think, yung mismong nanguhuli, yung education lang din siguro nila. For me kasi, kapag yung modification, ito yung opinion ko dyan pag yung modification does not, if the rules of the LTO does not require you to register that modification, hindi nila sa akin pwedeng sabihin na parang, sir, modified na yan. Hindi niya na-register. I will just tell them, sige, samahan mo ako, i-register ko to. Tingnan natin kung pwede kong i-register yung modification ko. Diba?
Okay.
Yung stock pipe, yung pipe is not, I believe it's not a modification that kailangan i-register. Wala namang parang, registered modified pipe. No. It's just that dahil mukhang minodify mo, I think mas matakaw na lang sa mata na baka maingay yan. Baka it's not in accordance dun sa standards na kailangan pagdating sa noise,
decibel
reading.
Kaya siguro pag nakakita ang mga enforcer na,
tama.
Ano yan tignan nga natin kung mamimit niyan yung yung kailangan niya mamit.
Pero for me, the fact na parang modified yan, hulihin na. Hindi dapat. Dapat, okay, demodified. Tingnan mo if it's in spec with your requirements. Sukatin mo yung decibel, 'di ba? Ngayon, kung gusto nilang sukatin pa yung emission reading mo, edi kung meron silang way to do that, edi gawin nila, 'di ba? That's how it is for me.
Okay, so
Yung Helix mo ba, iba na para na yun?
ha? Hindi. Well, na para. Pero, sir, pwede ba sa ilog yan? Yan yung mga tanong nila eh. Okay, so modifications is the way we've been talking about it is adding.
I think it's changing what is
Changing. So when we're talking about decatting, tinanggal mo yung silencer, stock pipe pa rin yun.
so it's still modification.
Modification, sakop
Kasi
yun.
change.
Okay, what about, so sakop na rin yung aux lights. Pero may
Yeah, I
clear,
think, yeah.
may
May
clear
clear
rules
rule yun
naman yun eh. So, okay. What about yung top case? Kasi a lot of the riders, delivery, the reason they have ginormous backpacks is because that's not a modification.
Kasi
A
attached sa,
top case is.
attached sa rider kasi yung backpack.
Oo.
Meron na kasi nagtanong sa akin yan na tawag dito. Pwede mong sabihin yan, grab rider. No?
Okay lang.
Grab rider.
Yeah.
Ang problem kasi, I think, again, education ng mga nanguhuli. No? Yung top box, dahil nga tinanong niya ako eh. So I read on it. So yung top box, supposedly meron, kadali namang i-google niyan. May specs naman yan. Ang medyo mahirap lang is that nakalagay doon sa rule, kailangan i-register yung top box kapag daw custom top box.
Halimbawa, attorney, yan ba yung halimbawa yung Amber. Magbanggit tayo ng establishment.
Yung delivery nila.
Ang laki ng kahon ng mga yon.
Yeah.
At hindi siya nabibili kung saan pinagawa talaga
Pero
nila.
arguably, if you buy GV, Turatec, or any branded, tested, global quality, custom rin yun eh.
Tama.
Kasi dinagdag mo.
Someone made it.
Oo. Hindi mo binili.
Pero, okay.
Yung Honda Cub ko, hindi siya custom. Because Yamaha Norkis sold it as a fleet panghatid ng gasol. So when it came out of the fact of Norkis, may attachment na siya, hindi siya custom. And that's why they sold it na ganon.
Okay. Ngayon, dun sa rule, apparently, yung custom is something, ang sabi nila, kapag hindi mo mabibili, if you cannot buy it commercially. Yan.
Okay.
So they clarified it in the rule.
Okay, so may clarification.
Oo. Ngayon, ang problem is, how do you test na yung pagdating doon sa yung commercially available, if it's being sold commercially as a top box? Kasi ako nakakita na ako like Pelican cases being used as a top box.
Everything's available commercially.
Yeah, but it's not a commercially sold top box. It's a Pelican case.
Nakakita na rin ako ng ganyan, attorney, sa PG1 nilagay.
No, if I typed in custom top box in Lazada, I'm sure meron doon mukhang chicken.
Oo.
So it's
that's what you're saying. Exactly.
Oo.
So, okay. And I think somewhere LTO clarified it na supposedly yung sinasabi nilang kailangang i-register na top box, those na ginagamit for delivery, they clarified it already. Na yung kunyari yung mga Grab, yung mga ganyan, yung kunyari for Ambers, for Shakey's, I think they have to register it. Ngayon, what is not clear to me, at least to me, it's not clear. Kasi merong measurements yung 2x2x2, ganyan. Etong mga registered top box na to, I don't know if they have to be in spec with what is required by law. Pero syempre, you're going to register it, they'll tell you naman siguro. Hindi po yan pwede, sir. Kailangan mas maliit.
Okay. Attorney, naman, speaking of yung national law versus international law,
Okay.
medyo magmamakro ko dito.
Okay.
Si LTO, nagre-require sila ng ICC helmet. Pero ICC sa helmet, pero yung mga helmet natin rated na for ECE, 'di ba? Yung Snell rating, yung mga ganyan. Ngayon, kung rated dun yung helmet ko, pero wala akong ICC, dapat ba talaga ako mahuli?
Okay. Excuse me. Yung tungkol doon sa ICC sticker. This is a national law. Hindi nga lang to hindi lang to particular, 'di ba? Again, yung kagaya sinabi mo, iba, pwede kang bumili ng electrical tape, may ICC sticker, no? So, anything na kapag in-import tapos if the Philippines requires a certain standard for that product, dapat may ICC sticker, no? Not all naman, pero syempre kailangan ICC sticker. Syempre,
I know it's more of a DTI
it's a
requirement,
thing.
not an LTO, not
safety, hindi sa safety.
It's safety. No, DTI test safety, di ba?
Yung ICC sticker is a DTI sticker.
Oo.
Issued by the DTI. Ngayon, the problem is, parang merong nalilimutan na I think, kumbaga, for me, parang isang step. Meron kasi yung motorcycle helmet law na kailangan, doon nakalagay, kasi pag tinitingnan natin yung rules on the ICC, napupunta tayo sa mga issue on the DTI. Pero merong motorcycle helmet law na nakalagay na kailangan PS, according to the PS standards, so PS mark, or yung ICC sticker. Nakalagay doon na yun yung requirement. Pero hindi doon diniscuss kung ano yung standard. Okay? Doon sa motorcycle helmet law. So, it's up to the DTI to determine ano yung standard ng helmet. No? So, yan.
So, if you're importing a helmet, right, what DTI asks, and actually, if you're importing anything that requires ICC, so they will ask you for any certification of testing abroad.
Dito na tinitignan yung SNEL, ECE.
So you send it to them, you provide all the testing, and if it's electronic, they're gonna bring it to their shop and test yung
mga IP rating.
Sumabog. Yun.
Right, okay.
So may ginagawa naman yung DTI. But the thing is, I guess this kind of thing guarantees safety. Pero ang dami rin lumulusot na lousy na helmet na may sticker eh.
Mismo.
Diba? Na
Tama.
hindi ECE.
Pero okay, to answer the question, syempre pag hinuli ka, tapos nakita nilang walang sticker or PS sticker, ICC sticker, pwede ka talaga nilang hulihin on that. Kasi yun yung sabi ng batas eh.
Nako, iba.
Sabi ng motorcycle helmet law eh.
Meron ba yun?
Pero like, okay.
No, sinabi ko sa'yo, they're not strict anymore.
Yes.
But, okay, the other reason why why this came with an ICC sticker in the box, but because they're not strict anymore, it just is proof that they paid the proper duties, they went through the right processes. So now, it's basically, the ICC sticker is something that shows you that you're dealing with a company that's legitimate, right? Yun. Hindi lang marketplace o Lazada, diba?
Right, okay.
Okay. Closing na tayo. King, ikaw na yan. Yun na yung what practical advice? Yun. How do you protect yourself?
Okay, attorney. Tanungin ka naman namin, what practical advice can you give to everyday riders who want to stay on the right side of law? Obviously, yung wala ma-violate, even when the law feels a bit confusing at times.
Okay. Sisimplihan ko lang Again, yung mga bawal, dali naman yun makita sa internet Pero pagdating sa mahuhuli ka sa kalsada.
Ano yung mga tips mo?
Simple lang tip ko. Basta yung tungkol sa traffic violation, make sure na hindi ka nila mahuhuli ng traffic violation kasi doon yun magsasanga lahat ng mga bawal na nakita nila sa motor mo, yung helmet mo walang ICC sticker. Kasi, this is my legal opinion hindi ka dapat hintuin just because sinasabi, hinto ka nga, bakit po? Bakit titignan ko yung helmet mo kung may sticker wala? They cannot actually do that Kasi kailangan kapag papahintuin ka, of course, yung exception kapag merong tawag dito, yung nakahinto sila lahat. Anyway, checkpoint. Exception yung checkpoint, no? Pero hanggat walang probable cause for them to suspect na you're violating something, they cannot stop you on the road. So, kunyari, sabi na, hinto ka. Bakit po? Kasi tingin ko yung top box mo is not in spec. Kasi lagpas ng 2 inches Paano na naman nila malalaman sa ganun kalayo na, 'di ba? So, again, make sure na yung traffic rules, at the very least, yun lang ang gusto kong gawin nating lahat. sundin yung traffic rules para kapag hindi mo maiisipin sa sarili mo, pinag-iinitan ako eh. Kaya ka sa tingin mo na pag-initan kasi nahuli ka ng traffic violation.
Halimbawa, attorney, si Iba nag-beating the red light siya. Kunyari lang Tapos, nung nag-beating the red light siya, dun na nakitaan ng ibang quote-unquote.
Yun, may dahilan.
Yan.
Uy, sir, yung gulong mo oversize.
Yan. Hindi yan DOT.
Naka-chicken pipe ka pala.
Oo, naka-nobis ka pala, sir. Ha?
So, generally, I think if we're gonna translate it to normal daily riders, just go with the flow.
Huwag kamote.
Huwag kayong nauuna nag-speeding, 'di ba? Huwag ka nauuna na
Don't stand out.
Don't stand out. Doon ka sa dulo. Kung I won't elaborate what go with the flow means. Pero just don't stand out. Yan.
Mismo. Tatanungin pa ba natin ng tunay na rider question to si attorney?
Natanong niya na ako eh.
Natanong na natin to eh. Alright. So, yeah. You wanna take us out, King?
Ikaw na. Nasa you spill.
Sige. So, attorney, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sobrang
Maraming
laking
salamat.
bagay ever since we met attorney, pare. Parang
Thank you for having me.
gumaling yung level ng discussion natin.
Baka gusto
may value talaga eh.
Baka gusto mo maging regular na host dito sa
Siguro guest lang. Parang
Whenever there's we have, you know who you're gonna call.
may tatakbuhan tayo. Oo.
Tsaka may automatic, kapag kasama niyo ako dito, lagi kayo magkaka-automatic audience.
Parinig naman sandali.
Palakpakan.
Kasama ko si Darcy tsaka si Ken from Spoiled Brats.
Yan.
May entourage si attorney.
Mga tropa.
Naka-black ano pa, parang dalawang bouncer eh.
Last
Diba?
na dating.
Mga Triumph Boys.
Mga
Tatlong
Triumph
to.
Boys, yan.
Oo.
All right. That wraps up this week's episode of Tunay na Rider. Tandaan, hindi lang sa bilis na susukat ang rider. It's how you ride, who you ride with, and why you ride. Kita-kit sa kalsada, ride smart, ride safe, ride tunay, and follow the law.
Wag kamote. Ride safe.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.